everybody, welcome to Poli Games. I'm your host Joseph, and today we're going to give my final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. It's been 30 days, actually a little bit over a month, since the Switch has launched, and the one question I want to answer is, are we over the honeymoon stage? Am I still having the same fuzzy feelings as I did when I opened the box, as I did when I had my first impressions? Or are there some gripes that are coming out that I'm kind of hesitant towards now? Let's talk about it. And before we start, I'm not going to break it down into specs. I'm just going to talk about my overall feelings with the console, playing the console. And as you guys should know, I've played this console the majority of the time, maybe 70-80% of the time, playing it mobile, because that's what I wanted out of this console. I wanted a console experience on the go, not console-like experience, not console-light experience. I want what I get out of my PlayStation 4, out of my Xbox One, on the go. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And right off the bat, I have to say, because it always comes into this topic, so let's get it out of the way real fast, that for a little console like this, it is probably the size of a PlayStation 4 case and a little bit slimmer than a PlayStation 4 case. The power that you get out of the Nintendo Switch is rather remarkable. And Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild could not be a better benchmark for what this console is capable of. And it's capable of so much. Seeing the large vistas I'm able to see in Breath of the Wild doesn't just give me the wow moments, it gives me of how is this possible moments. The weather in the game gives me the impression of how are they able to do and fit all this game into such a little console, into such a little mini chip. It amazes me every time. And ever since the first patch of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the whole issues that I'm having with the frame rate are practically gone. It's a race. I'm having no frame rate dips as of what I've experienced so far, and I've beaten the game once, and I'm on my second playthrough right now. I haven't had too many experiences with the frame rate issues. So, again, the game has played amazingly on the Switch, whether it is docked or when it is in mobile play. Now, with that said, I want to also talk about the Joy-Cons, because these things are super impressive to me. When they're on the system itself, there's no way I would rather play them. These things are just really comfortable to hold, whether it's on the system or when it's like this, when they're in the nunchuck mode. And I also, like I said, and I pointed out in my first impressions, want to give a shout out for Nintendo for having a controller that is so versatile, that can do and be played multiple different ways. The nunchuck mode is awesome for people that have muscle disabilities or disabilities where they can't move their arms that well. These controllers right out of the box are able to give people the way to play comfortably, whether they have a disability, and that's something to really be admired for Nintendo to do. So thank you, Nintendo, for giving more people an opportunity to game and get the same experiences I get. Now, with that said, the only way I actually don't like playing still is on the Joy-Con grip. The Joy-Con grip, to me, if you have small hands, if you are a kid out there, then this is fine. But to me, there's still some flaws with this controller, and it's the flaws that I've had since the get-go. The HD rumble, you don't get the same experience if you were holding them any other way, because again, you're holding onto these hollow plastic nubs, so you're not getting a good vibration when an action or if you get hit happens. Also, again, it is comfortable to an extent, but after a while, I switch these things out for a Pro Controller because the Pro Controller is just more comfortable. This still feels a little cramped. So I still have my same issues with the Joy-Con, though I do feel like they are acceptable controllers because you could play them whichever way you want. The OS is still fine. I like it perfectly fine. The one thing that I am seeing is that the Wi-Fi, I'm still having issues with it. I feel like there are some software kinks on that end that Nintendo needs to address, and they need to address fast. And for the fact that there is no Ethernet port on the dock is a big letdown. I don't want to pay extra money to have something that should be in a console that has been in consoles for over 10 years now. That's just a no-go. That and the holder, the dock itself, is flawed. We see that it does scratch the screen, and there has been warping issues that people have been having with their Nintendo Switch. When they play with the console docked for too long, the console begins to warp, and at the vents, it starts to bend. And that's just not a good look for the console. Again, I have not experienced any of these things because A, I bought a screen protector, and B, I don't play that much at my house. But the thing I do want to talk about here is the versatility of this console. This hybrid promise has been kept by Nintendo. Whether I'm playing Legend of Zelda, Snake Pass, No More Heroes, or Has Been Heroes, and Shovel Knight, all are great examples of playing the game on the go and getting the same experience, whether I'm playing on the go or playing at my home, having that comfort. I took a road trip to New York City about a week ago, and I was on the train on my way to New York City. I almost missed my stop because I was just so entranced with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I was so immersed in that experience, and that hasn't happened to me on a mobile level since Pokemon. Since Pokemon Red and Blue have I been fixated on the screen, because usually there's those outside experiences, the noises, and they're focusing on such a little screen that I get out of the moment. And with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's such a great game, and there is no compromise to the game when you're playing a mobile that I have a terrific time, and I get immersed whether I'm playing on the go or whether I'm playing at my house. And while I was taking my trip to New York City, whether I was in the taxi, I would whip out the console, start playing it. Whether I was on the subway, in the train, I would stop and take a moment and play Legend of Zelda. And I was playing it even at the Nintendo store. I was playing it in Greenwich Village while I was sitting down on a bench just at a park. It was comfortable. I was playing and enjoying myself no matter what type of situation I put myself in. And the surprising thing was, I was playing it all day, and I didn't need my external battery like I thought I would. I actually got home, I put the console in the dock, and I finished up the shrine I needed to do. That's what's the cool thing about this console is I'm still in my honeymoon era. I'm still playing this console more than I'm playing my PlayStation 4 or my Xbox One. The games that I am playing are just fantastic. And to point out those games for just one more minute here, for everybody saying that the launch lineup sucks, I gotta disagree with you. You know, I know the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One had 20 plus games, but when I'm going to buy a console, I'm not buying 20 plus games. I'm buying 2, maybe 3 tops. And the games that I have played so far, I have had so much fun playing, and the most fun playing in a launch window. So with all that said, all that out of the way, yes, I do recommend the Nintendo Switch. I feel like it is a fine console. It's an awesome console, one that I'm enjoying a hell of a lot, and will be enjoying when Mario Kart comes out, when ARMS comes out. I'll pick that game up. Splatoon, Mario Odyssey, and whatever they have in store for the future, hopefully Pokemon Stars. I'm excited. I like the lineup. I see the games that I want to play, and I have zero regrets buying this console. That is something. So, with all that said and all that out of the way, gang, I'm sorry if I sound sick. That's because I am sick. So, if you can like this video, please, it helps me out, shows me that you care. Sharing is also caring. If you could do that, subscribe if you liked my content. And with all that said, everybody, keep your wits about you, okay? Have a good day.